Okay, we're doing Module 1, Foundation of Algebra, A.REI.3, Level 4, Reteach. So this one, we're just going to put everything we learned together. So if we take a look at this, I need to simplify this side. I need to figure out what A and B are. So the first thing I need to do is simplify the left-hand side. So what I'm going to do is quickly just distribute to the left-hand side. So I get 2x minus 2 minus 18x plus 6, two negatives make a positive, plus 4x minus 12 equals, and I'm going to get 2ax plus 10b. So I'm trying to figure out what a and b are, but I need to simplify the left-hand side first. With that in mind, I know I can combine all the x's, and I get a negative 12x, and then I know I can combine all the whole numbers, and I get a minus 8. And then I know it's going to be equals 2ax plus 10b. Well, I want a. So what does a have to be? It needs to be a negative 12. So what does a have to be? So a has to be a negative 6. That would get me a negative 12x. Now to get 10, to get a negative 8, I'm going to probably need to get a fraction. So what am I going to multiply 10 by? So we know this is a plus 10. I need to get an 8. So I need to get a 2 out of here. So if I know I need to get a 2 out of here, I know I'm going to need, and it needs to be negative, so I'm going to need a negative 4. So I got to get rid of that 5. So I'm going to put a 5 underneath here. Let's see if this works. Keeping in mind this is over 1. This would come a 2. Aha! So plus 8. So now I know that A is going to be negative 6 and B is going to be negative 4 over 5. Taking a look at the next one. This one I just need to FOIL. First, we know that we need to FOIL, so I'm going to get 6x squared minus 12x minus 5x plus 10. And then I'm going to put a bracket here, and then I'm going to FOIL again, and I get 6x squared minus 9x minus 2x plus 3 is greater than 4. Then I'm going to combine like terms in both of the situations. I'm going to combine like terms. And when I do, I'm going to get 6x squared minus 17x plus 10 minus, and then I'm going to get 6x squared. I get a negative 11x plus 3, and I have a 4. Now I need to distribute that negative to the right-hand side. So then I'm going to get 6x squared minus 7x plus 10, and I'm going to get a minus 6x squared. Two negatives make a positive 11x, and I have a minus 3 is greater than 4. Now, you remember, we said right now, because we haven't learned everything, the x squared has to cancel out. So make sure you kind of keep that in mind when you're solving these problems. I'm going to combine like terms. And we're going to go. So when I combine like terms, I'm going to get a negative 6x minus 7 is greater than 4. Then I'm going to add, no, it's a positive 7. So I'm going to subtract 7 because, yeah, it's a positive 7. So I'm going to subtract 7 because the 10 is bigger. And then I'm going to get a negative 6x is greater than negative 3. I'm going to divide by negative 6. Aha! Dividing by a negative 6. Aha! We got to change the inequality sign. Two negatives make a positive, and x is less than or equal to less than 1/2. Now this one, again, I want to get rid of my denominator. So my common denominator is 24. So when I'm going to multiply everything by 24. So when I do, this 3 goes into here, and I'm going to get an 8, and then I'm going to put parentheses 1 minus 7x. Then this is going to be an 8 again, minus 8, and I'm going to have x plus 30, and then equals, 8 goes into here. I'm going to get a 3x minus 1, and then 3 times 24 is a minus 72. Then I'm going to distribute I'm going to distribute and distribute and distribute. So I'm going to get an 8 times 1, and this is a 7, remember, minus 56x and minus 8x, and this is going to get me a negative 240 equals 3x minus 3 minus 72. I'm going to combine my like terms, and when I combine my like terms, I'm going to get a negative 232 minus 64x equals, and I'm going to get 3x minus 75. And I am going to add 64 because we always look for the smaller one. 64x, this cancels out. I get a negative 232 equals negative 67x, because your same signs add and keep. 67x minus 75. Then I'm going to add 75 to both sides. And when I do, I'm going to get a negative 157 over 67, because I'm going to divide by 67, and x equals negative 157 over 67. Taking a look at the next one. The next one I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to FOIL. So I have x squared plus 2x plus 5x plus 10 minus, and then I'm going to distribute. I get a 12x plus 9. Now I prefer to write it twice and then FOIL. I know there is a shortcut, but I prefer to do that. So it just is easier. So I'm going to show you how to do it this way. So I'm going to combine like terms just to get it so it's not so much. I combine and I get a minus 5x plus 19. And then over here I'm going to FOIL x squared. And then I'm going to have a minus 5x and a minus 5x and a plus 25. And then I'm going to combine like terms. And I get x squared minus 5x plus 19 equals x squared minus 10x plus 25. So just like I said earlier, we want to make sure the x squares cancel out. And they do. They're both positive, so they can cancel out. Then I'm going to look to see which one is smaller, and it's obviously the minus 10x. So I'm going to get a 5x plus 19 equals 25, and then I'm going to subtract 19, and then I get 5x equals 6. I'm going to divide by 5, and x equals 6 over 5. Taking a look at this one, we need to get a common denominator, and my common denominator would be x and x plus 3. So this one I need to do x minus 3, and this one I need to multiply by x, and it's going to be all over x minus 3 equals 4. So then this one I'm going to need to FOIL. So when I FOIL, I'm going to get x squared minus 3x minus 5x plus 15. And then on the other one, I'm going to need to distribute. I'm going to put parentheses here, and I'm going to distribute. So I'm going to get plus 3x squared plus x. And I'm going to move this over. We ran out of room. I'm going to move this over and make it so it's easier for us. Equals 4. So now that I have everything, I need to combine like terms. I'm going to combine the x's squared, so I get 4x squared. I'm going to combine all of the x's, and when I do, I'm going to get minus 7x, because 3 minus 5, it's a negative 8, plus 1 is negative 7. Then I bring down the 15 equals 4 all over x minus 3. Now, I want to get rid of the denominator, so I'm going to multiply it by the denominator. Remember, this is 1. So, whoa, sorry about that. So, we're going to multiply this by x, and then x x minus 3, and then x minus 3. So this is a 3. And this is a 3. So now this cancels out. So I'm just going to have 4x squared minus 7x plus 15 equals, and then I'm going to distribute. So I'm going to get 4x squared minus 12x. Again, the x squares need to cancel out. So now it's just a simple problem. So we're going to add 7x to both sides. And these cancel out. You get 15. 12 minus 7 is a negative 5. X divide by 5. And I'm going to get x equals negative 3. Now the final problem. Let's take a look at that one. The next page. So I think of this as a proportion. So you're going to cross multiply. That's how I think of this problem. So I know it's going to be 2h plus 1 and then 3h minus 1 is greater than or equal to h times 6h. So I'm going to FOIL, so I get 6h squared minus 2h plus 3h minus 1 is greater than or equal to 6h squared. I'm going to combine like terms, and I'm going to get 6h squared, and that's going to get me plus h minus 1 is greater than 6h squared. I notice that the h squares cancels out. So that means it's just really greater than or equal to 0. So I'm just going to add 1, and h is greater than or equal to 1. So have a great day. Thanks for listening.